You guys, it's Karen and I'm filming in my living room because Watson is in here recovering from his big tumour removal, and so I need to make sure that he doesn't try and pull the drain out of his wound or of his stitches or anything. And he has a cone on overnight, but I just want him to be comfortable during the day, you know, so I'm happy to sit in here and supervise. But I wanted to talk to you about this. I bought this, I ordered it quite a few weeks ago. It took a while to come. I ordered mine from Space NK. It's the A-Passioni Retinol Cream by Drunk Elephant, and this is the first Drunk Elephant item I have purchased. Do you remember I said that I was tempted to put there was a little set of small items on my Christmas list? I never did, and I never bought it either, so this is the first one I've bought. If you haven't followed my journey with retinols, retinoids, etc., it's a bit of a complicated one. I have tried Retin-A, tretinoin, I've tried it in various different ways, and I may even try it again, but as we're talking about retinol today, my experience with retinols has been that I always get irritation from it, and dry skin and irritation in some form, whether it's itchy skin, stingy skin. Sometimes I get little tiny lumps, like hives come up as a reaction to it. And I have tried many retinols. I have tried the Ordinary, all of their, like in Squalane, when they did just a 1% in silicone. I've tried those. I've tried the Inky skincare ones. I've tried the Garden of Wisdom ones. What else? The QRX niacinamide and retinol. So I've tried quite a few, and what happens is after a few uses, even if I spread that out, you know, every two or 3 days, I get very dry, irritated skin in some form or another. So I'm always looking for a retinol that I can use that isn't irritating. It may be that my skin just doesn't like retinol, and that's okay, you know, but as long as there's new products coming out, I'm happy to try them. But I think it's useful for you to know that little bit of history before I talk about this product, because it may not apply to you. So this is Drunk Elephant, and Drunk Elephant create products that have none of 6 items in, and those 6 items are no alcohols, no silicones, no essential oils, no SLS, which is sodium lauryl sulfate, and no chemical dyes, and no fragrance. And so I really like that. I don't have any issues with silicones personally, but I do like products that don't have fragrance and don't have alcohol in them. It is an uber expensive brand, which is why I've been reluctant to try anything. But because I've always been irritated by retinol, and this one has oils and things in it that are supposed to soothe the skin, and it's free of those 6 things, I thought that it would be worthwhile testing it out, because then I can maybe say my skin doesn't like retinol for sure, you know. And this was £62. I at first was going to order it from Cult Beauty, but I ended up getting it from Space NK, because if you order it from Space NK, you also get a little sample of their serum. This is the serum you get. It's the B Hydra Intensive Hydration Serum. So it's your usual kind of milky serum, really hydrating. This is only like 1 or 2 uses, but that's why I ordered it from Space NK, because I thought it was exactly the same price, £62 on both sites, both with free postage, but you got this if you ordered it on Space NK. Or maybe you got it on Cult Beauty, but it certainly didn't mention it. Okay, so about the cream itself, I will show you what it looks like. Something to talk about with this tube. I really like this tube. However, it's one of those metal tubes, and I do find that they end up splitting. And so I do prefer a plastic tube, or a pump dispenser, or a glass dispenser, something like that. But this is one of those that, you know, when you start off something and then it just keeps on coming out. This is one of those. Oh, it's not doing it anymore. It's stopped, so that's good. So maybe it's not going to continue to do that. But you can see there's already some come out, because last night when I went to use it, it just kept on coming, and you have to like quickly get the top on. Oh yeah, now it's coming out more again, you know. I don't know whether that's something I'm doing or not, but that's what the cream looks like, and I will try and film myself putting it on. It's a yellow cream. It has a scent of something that I can't identify. It's like a cleaning, something that you use to clean. Not really strong, but it's like, say, washing up liquid or something like that. I don't find it horrible. Some people might not like that, but I don't find it horrible at all. I don't know if there's a yellow cast there. I didn't notice that putting it on my face last night, and I haven't noticed anything on my pillows or anything like that. But it feels absolutely beautiful. It's a really lovely nourishing feeling retinol. It's 1%, by the way. It is a 1% retinol. So I've been using this every other night for a week and a half. It does say to start off using it once or twice a week if you're new to retinol, but obviously I'm not. I have been using other retinols, and it feels lovely going on. Feels really nourishing. You can feel that it's got oils and things in it, you know, like I said, it feels really nice. It's one that I didn't feel like I needed to put another moisturiser on. I did, because I do have a process, you know, but I feel like I could have got away without that, and my skin is quite dry. So yeah, I really enjoyed using it, but I've been kind of watching my skin to see, is it irritated at all? The first thing I would say is I've got no hives coming out from it at all, which I got from the QRX retinol, and I think maybe the inky one, and certainly the ordinary one in Squalane. Actually, I used that on my neck, and my neck reacted the worst to it. So no irritation of that. No itching skin, no hives, nothing like that. My skin is now feeling a little bit dry. So this is a week and a half later, and it's feeling a little bit dry, but that's something I'd expect, and that's not a deal breaker for me at all. I don't mind that. What I did notice from the second time of using this is that any other products I used after the second use of this would sting my skin. And that's unusual, because remember, I use products without fragrance and without alcohol in it myself. But even there, that Hydra serum that I used was stinging on top of this, and my night cream that I was using, anything I used on top would just irritate ever so slightly. It was somewhere between a tingling and a stinging, you know. It was like, oh, my skin just felt a little bit red. But again, it didn't look irritated. It hasn't come out in any kind of irritation. It was just something that I noticed. Just to give you some of the ingredients in here that are nice, it's got apricot kernel oil in it. It's got a couple of peptides in it. It's got broccoli extract in it, avocado oil, ceramide, rice bran, which is really soothing to the skin, safflower seed oil, some more peptides, sodium hyaluronate. So there's some really nice ingredients. So I guess the big question is, do I recommend it to you guys? I would say, if you can afford £62 for something that, you know, because skincare is used up pretty quickly, isn't it? There's not many areas of skincare where it lasts a long time, certainly not for me, but you know, I'm a bit heavy-handed. But if you can afford it, it's definitely a good retinol serum. It's definitely one that's got great ingredients in it. There are some ingredients that some people will have an issue with. It's got coconut alkanes in it, which not many people have an issue with, but some people do. At this stage, I don't know if I would repurchase it. It won't be an immediate repurchase, and you know, I've still got a lot of it to use, as you can see. I may be trying the A-Passioni tretinoin on my face. I'm not sure yet. That's a whole nother story. And I also want to try out, I've got the Poppy Austin retinol, and I want to try that one a bit more. I used it a few times and didn't get any irritation at all from that one, so I would like to try that a little bit more. But it is one that I like, and I'm going to use this for the foreseeable future, and see if anything else happens and how I get on. I think that's everything to tell you about it just now. I would really like to try their whipped, I think it's called Lala. Is it Lala whipped retro cream or something like that? I know it's the one in the purple. It's got purple in it. And so I might well order that, because yeah, I really fancy trying that. That's the one I've had my eye on since hearing about Drunk Elephant. So let me know if you want me to do a review on that. Let me know if you've tried this and if it's working for you, especially if you're having no irritation. I think that would be useful to people, because like I said, my skin is not overly sensitive, but it's sensitive to retinol for some reason. That's everything to do with this serum. I will give you a little update on things going on with Watson and my makeup, etc. Watson has had his operation. It's gone as well as it could have, but it's a very large wound. I'll put in a picture just now, so if you're squeamish, look away, because it's really quite big and gnarly looking, you know. He had that not yesterday, the day before, so he's only on day 2 of recovery. We're going to the vets later to see if he can get the drain out of it. Because it's such a big wound, they've put a drain in. The first night was terrible with him. He was in pain. He was crying in pain despite being on tramadol, so that was pretty awful. We've not had any sleep. If you can see bags under my eyes, it's because my husband and I have barely had any sleep because he's struggling to get comfortable. He's in a lot of pain. But yesterday there was a big improvement because he couldn't walk when we brought him home. It was too difficult for him. He couldn't even get himself up. But if we lifted him up and put him on the floor, he would go to lift his arm, but it's all sort of on his shoulder, and then it goes right the way down to his elbow. You could see he was trying, but it was just too painful for him. But yesterday he just all of a sudden started walking, so that was just brilliant. And it was kind of uphill from there. He started walking, and then he sat and chewed on a treat, which he wasn't able to do before because he was just lying almost comatose. And then he even had a little game of tug with me, and we went on a little walk in the park, and I played a little bit of Find It with him. So yesterday was really encouraging. The scary bit is not over yet because they've taken the tumour off and they've got large margins, but we don't know the grade of the tumour, and that's the all important thing. And we don't find that out till the end of this week. Today is Wednesday as I'm filming this. Goodness knows when I'll get it up. But the only reason I say that is because editing is like the other end of the room, and I don't think I could get him to be in that room with me. I don't know. Anyway, we don't get the results until the end of this week, possibly even next week. But those results will tell us if it's low-grade tumour, then hopefully they've got margins and they can tell us that, and then that might be all the treatment he needs. If it's intermediate, then he'll need chemo and radiation, so we'll be referred right on to the cancer centre immediately. And if it's high grade, I don't even want to think about it or talk about it. So I'm really anxious but really hopeful that it's just going to be low grade and that's it. That's what's going on with Watson. Thank you so much for all your thoughts. I'm amazed how many pet owners there are actually. It's not something I talk about too much because I am obsessed with Watson. He, like I said, is my world. And I used to do vlogs over on my other channel, and there was a lot of people that were, complaining that all I ever did was talk about Watson, and I totally understand that. So I know for non-pet owners, this bit will be a bit boring, and maybe you don't understand as well the connection. I think it's because I didn't until even having my own dog, and I grew up with dogs. Anyway, so that's Watson. There's been a lot of comments on my eyebrows, and I really appreciate it. There's not one person has said they didn't like them. One person said something about the right one wasn't as far in as the left one, and I was like, oh my God, they're not supposed to be identical, but these I think are about as identical as you can get, and so I don't have any issues if that is the case, But apart from that, not one single person has said you don't like them, and I pretty quickly grew to love them. I think it was just that day they looked very intense and I had no other makeup on, so I think that's all it was. But as soon as I put makeup on, I was like, oh yeah, I like them. I do like them thicker. I love the fact that she's put an arch in. Somebody actually said that they hated the way I used to do my brows because it looked like I'd just drawn a straight line. My eyebrows were just a straight line. She said that your eyebrows are straight. We'll have to, she's had to add in hairs above here and then remove them from my eyebrows here in order to create an arch. So I couldn't have done that because I can't grow hairs where there aren't any, So I love the fact that she's given me an arch in my brow. So really enjoying them just now. I'm not really sure what to do makeup wise. I feel like they look maybe a little bit patchy, but maybe that's just me being ultra critical. That's when I pick up this mirror, I'm like, I can see there's tiny little patches. Like, should I be filling them in with powder? Or I tried to use, a hold it in place thing this morning, and then that just looked a bit patchy. It was a brown one from Colorpop, just a little brush, because there are hairs that sort of drop down. So I've not quite worked out how to deal with them yet, but I'm still having to put, what's it called, Aquaphor on them at the minute anyway, because it's been less than a week. I still can't give you a definite I'm going back to my Tuesday, Saturday videos yet, because like I said, I don't know when I'll get a chance to edit this. I'll probably edit it this evening when my husband comes home, because he's not currently going to he's not doing any golf. Obviously when he comes home he wants to spend time with Watson. I think it will take Watson about at least another week to recover, maybe another 2 weeks. So I'll be doing, his walking and caring for him, etc. during that time. So it all depends really on the results, because if it's a low grade, which I'm telling the universe it's going to be, then, of course we'll be celebrating, and I will hopefully get back to normality, if you like, as soon as possible. But if it's anything other than low grade, then again, everything will be dropped and it will just be all about Watson. So we shall see. Everybody keep their toes and paws and fingers crossed for us. I'll be just a mess if it's not low grade. I will be an absolute mess, because he's been through so much, Thank you so much to all of you that are asking about him. I can't answer every single comment with an update, because I'm putting updates already. I'm spending a lot of time putting updates up because there's so many people that care about Watson. Honestly, Watson's got more friends than I have. And so I'm putting a lot of updates on, like with all of his doodle friends and all of his friends. We've got a group, a Facebook group in this kind of area, and they're all asking, and then, you know, so updates go on Watson, the Labradoodle Instagram, and Mrs. Ginger and her dog Facebook page. So, but thank you everybody for your thoughts. That's so kind. So makeup, I have got on the ItCC Cosmetics Cream. I've got the illuminating one, is it called? Not the matte one anyway, in light. On my eyes, I absolutely love this. It's the Colorpop, you know those new jelly shadows? It's the one in Morning Light, and so that's what that lovely peach colour is. But the only thing is, you need to put the exact right amount on. I've noticed it's getting a little bit crumbly. It's easy to put on and it looks beautiful, but then you notice as it dries it goes a little bit crumbly, so you need to be really careful that you don't put it on too thickly, you know. And then I just used the Urban Decay Backtalk palette, which yeah, not sure about my feelings on that just yet. Blush is, oh, it's the Colorpop one. Where is the, let me have a look. I've got my makeup bag right here. I used that, the Colorpop blush that I hadn't even tried yet. This one. It is called Cheerio, Super Shock Cheek in Cheerio. And then on my lips is just a whole big mix of stuff. I used the Soap and Glory metallic liquid lipstick, and the first time I used pink champagne. I thought I was using the other one, which is Gold Dusk, so I put Gold Dusk on top of it. So that's what's on my lips. And that's everything. So thank you so much for watching today. I'm sorry if I seem a bit all over the place. I'm really kind of out of the habit of doing videos, you know, and obviously it feels really weird here, so I probably don't sound like myself. But yeah, thank you so much, and I'll speak to you again soon.